hope everybody is having a great day so far. I have been at the computer doing some schoolwork and trying to figure out what we are going to have today for lunch. And one of my kind of commitments to myself this year is to work on cooking different things. Always I focus on reducing food waste, which I am not bragging, but I'm very good at. I hate wasting food and wasting especially food that we have either harvested or grown ourselves. So I just have a loaf of bread ready to come out of the bread maker in about an hour or so. And so I knew I wasn't going to have that option for lunch, but we do have, our chickens are laying sporadically. They're just finishing their molt, so they're starting to pick up now. I have some leftover goose hot Italian sausage. And so I'm going to make some, what are they called, tortillas? Or basically like lunch wraps with scrambled eggs. I'm going to fry up some onions, include the sausage. And I'm going to make some soft tortillas and use some of our salsa that I made this summer for lunch. So I thought I'd bring you along just to show you kind of what I do. So let's get cooking up the onion, and then while that is cooking, I am going to make the tortillas and show you how I make that. Super easy, but I have time. It's a weekend to make this supper. Just gonna add some bacon fat to the pan. Okay, while those onions are cooking, I'm just going to slice up the sausage. Okay, for the tortillas, you need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. This is a half cup measure, so I have to do 4. Super simple. This is the same recipe I used for the fish tacos that I made. If you've never had fish tacos before, you gotta try them too, so good. So 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of water, half teaspoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Then, this is the messy part. So now all you do is mix the water into the flour. It's a bit of a messy process, but it's fairly quick. I'm getting very good at, I call it food conversion, using leftovers and keeping it interesting, because it can be difficult to eat the same thing. So I'll just give you a little idea while I need this about the process and what I cooked this week. So I like to cook in big batches no matter what it is, so that I don't have to cook every night. So I think it was maybe Wednesday night or Thursday night. I'm gonna say Wednesday night. I made 4 or 5 venison burgers. And I also cooked a package of our last package of Canada Goose sausage that we had made, probably over a year ago. Freezer clean out is on. So once you have your dough in a ball, just lightly flour the surface, and then you're just gonna knead it 10 to 12 times and then let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna knead this out. Anyways, so I cooked the sausage and the hamburgers, and it's only 2 of us, right? And Brian usually has hamburgers, and I usually have sausage. That's usually my choice. So anyways, so we ate burgers Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we had some sausage left. So instead of having just sausage on a bun or on, I don't usually buy buns. I usually do just eat bread, the bread that I make. I thought, what can I make to use up the sausage today? So I thought, I'm going to make these wraps, and then I'll make like an omelet, like a whatever. I don't know what it's called. Maybe a burrito? Maybe we could call them burritos. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do here today. So now you just wanna let the dough rest for about 10 minutes. And while the dough is resting, I am going to add the sausage to the pan. Basically, we're just heating the sausage through now. The onions are cooked to a nice consistency, so we just wanna heat up the sausage. While that is cooking and heating up, I'm going to crack a couple of eggs into this bowl. So for the first time ever, I had a rotten egg and I made the mistake of cracking it into some of my sausage and sweet potato hash that we are addicted to here. And luckily I was able to rescue it really quickly. And I think it wasn't because I leave the eggs out here. I think it was an egg that had frozen early on in the season. So now cracking and then transferring. I learned my lesson. I can't remember the name of the TV show, but they used to say, no whammies, no whammies, and that's how I feel like now when I crack an egg. You don't realize when you have chickens what it's like when they start to molt and you don't get as many eggs. Oops, I'm supposed to be dumping these in here. I could have fouled both of those. When you don't get as many eggs, how much you miss the luxury of having your own eggs when they do start to molt. So I'm glad my girls are getting back at it out there. I've started to feed them some cracked corn because I read that it was good for them in the winter months, and they are really enjoying that as well. I'm gonna start with 4 and see where we're at. I'm just gonna add some black pepper, no salt because the sausage has enough salt in it. And the bacon grease also would have salt in it, so I don't need more salt. And we're also probably I'm gonna add some salsa to mine, so lots of flavors, lots of flavor there. Okay, put that up, then I'm gonna add some milk, and then I'm gonna start to roll out the tortillas. If you wanted to add heavy cream to your eggs, you could, but I just usually add milk. Give this one more stir. It's heating up nicely. And if after you wanted to, you could put this in the oven. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it stovetop and let it cook, but you could totally put it in the oven. And add green things. Like I said, I might have some sauerkraut with this. Probably not, actually. I'm probably just gonna put salsa on it and let it ride. But there we go. Yummy. How good that looks. I'm just gonna turn the heat up just a touch. Okay, so now I have to separate the dough into 8 equal-ish parts. While I'm rolling, I'm just going to get the pan heating because I'm going to try and cook while I roll. I'll show you how I cook one of them, but literally they take like 2 minutes each to cook. So it doesn't take a long time. The time is in rolling them out. So I'm just going to get a pan heating, another cast iron pan heating, and I just put it on low. So I'm going to roll this out, and you want to roll it, the instructions say, to about 7 inches. You want it pretty thin. The thinner you can roll it, the nicer the bubbles that you see on soft tortillas are going to be. So I try to make it as big as the bottom of my cast iron pan. So about that big, that's what it should look like. I'm gonna put it right in the pan. All right, so you put your tortilla in the pan. These little bubbles forming. That's how you know when it's almost done on one side. You saw earlier in the video that I planted an amaryllis this morning. It's the first amaryllis actually that I have ever grown. My sister-in-law gave it to me belated Christmas present. But every year, it was such a nice gift. Every year, my mom and my nephews have grown amaryllis, and they each plant them pretty close to the same time, and then they have a race to see whose blooms first. And mine, as you saw, one of the flowers was already coming up, so that's pretty cool. I know it's hopefully gonna bloom here shortly. It just needs some sunlight to start to develop some chlorophyll, but it's well on its way. So that'll be fun to watch over the winter months, you know, when it's cold and dreary. And I've actually been thinking a lot more about gardening this year. And I know I had said about not growing a garden, but the more I think about it, the more I just want to order and start some seeds. So that might happen. I might just start some seeds, not necessarily planting them here, but maybe give them away because I don't want my plans to change and me not have any seeds. So might be doing that. Brian's just coming in from outside, but we have I'm gonna make 2. There's a lot of stuffing, so we're gonna have to eat leftovers. Gonna put on some salsa on one and cowboy candy on the other. My mom made a meatloaf last night and said she put cowboy candy in it and said it was delicious. I don't doubt it. Okay. Could put cheese on this, but I feel like I've got enough stuff. We're just getting ready, lined up this afternoon to mill some of the white pine from the storm damage that we had in the bush to go on the sides of the sugar shack. And so I've made these, what is it? Goose sausage brunch burritos to use up the sausage that I cooked earlier in the week. What was it?
Good.
Never had it before. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna give her a go here. We have to fuel ourselves for the afternoon of hard work.
So eat this, then have a nap.
Pretty much. I didn't put cheese in it, but could have put cheese in it.
I thought about that.
Well,
I already had a blow up. Sweet mess.
it's just salsa. Oh, that's really good. This is not something that I would normally make. But I like making these soft shells. They're versatile. I think I'm probably gonna like this one better. Yep, I like the spiciness of it. If I had opened a thing of spicy salsa, then I would have liked that one too. But I wanted a little spice. Okay, folks, hopefully you're on the same line of thinking or have some of the same goals as me for the new year. Reducing the amount of food waste that you produce in your household by, what did I call it?
Cowboy candy.
No. What did I call that?
Food waste.
By practicing food conversion, so converting some of the food that you've already made or that you have into other things so that you don't have to waste it, I guess, in a timely fashion is also important. Anyways, the goose brunch burritos were a hit. I would definitely make them again, time permitting, because the soft shells do take a little bit of time, but it's a weekend, so we can carve that out. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
So long.